The Locky two-step is absolutely rolling in 2024 as we are now 5-0 on the two-leg parlays that we've been dropping on this segment every Thursday for the public. But a reminder, the Patreon folks get it on Mondays so they can get an even better price more often than not, as is the case this week as well, as you guys will hear very shortly. The Locky Trinity, the three-leg parlay that I dropped for you guys, is 3-2 on the year, so we're solidly in the profit with that parlay as well, and we're hoping to keep the good times rolling with UFC Mexico this weekend. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first step of the Locky two-step that I got for you guys is going to be in the form of Daniel Zellhuber, who goes up against Francisco Prado. Now, I believe Zellhuber has this technical striking advantage in this matchup where he should be able to keep Prado at bay. I believe he has a 7 or 8 inch reach advantage as well going into this matchup. Prado is a guy that likes to utilize his power striking style to try to crash the pocket and knock his opponents out. Unfortunately for him, he needs an opponent to willingly exchange with him in the pocket for him to have success, just as he did against Otman Azaitar last time around. And we've seen him try to show off some takedowns as well, but I don't think his wrestling is up to snuff as of yet, and I think he's going to struggle to take Zellhuber to the ground if that's the approach that he's looking for in this matchup. I think Zellhuber is improving at a very steady rate, and I expect his striking style from long distance to cause Prado a ton of problems, and I think Zellhuber will start to cruise away with this matchup in the second and third rounds, utilizing his output, volume, and footwork to get the job done. The second step in the Locky two-step is going to be in the main event with Brandon Moreno as he takes on Brandon Royval for the second time. I think we saw the game plan that Moreno believed would be the best way to take care of a chaotic style that Royval normally brings to the table, and that's by trying to take him to the ground and control him there. Obviously, Royval is very active off of his back, looking for submissions, reversals, and ways to get back to his feet, but I think Moreno is the better pure jiu-jitsu player here, and that should allow him to go out there and control the majority of positions. Even in the striking realm, I think Moreno is the technically better striker here, and Royval leaves a lot of openings for him to be countered and taken advantage of, especially with the chaotic style that he brings to the cage. Royval is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, but it's clear once he starts fighting the top 3 of the division, things start to get a little bit shaky for him, and we'll see that come to fruition once again here as the former champion Brandon Moreno goes out there and wins this fight, I believe, by decision. Now, this is a chalkier Locky two-step than you guys are used to seeing, but if you were able to lock it in earlier this week when I dropped it on the Patreon, you guys were able to get minus 105. Now you guys are looking closer to minus 123 if you were to lock it in today, or at least at the time of this recording. If you want to complete the Locky Trinity, the best way to do so would be with Edgar Chyz, who rematches Daniel Lerta. Now, we know what Lerta's game is all about. This guy is a first round or bust type of fighter. He goes out there and he throws balls or caution to the wind and tries to knock his opponents out, or at least put them in compromising positions for him to work for a finish. I think he might take a little bit more of a diligent approach going into this next matchup against Chyz, but I think he showcased that in their first fight, and it still didn't play out for him. I think Chyz is far superior in pretty much every aspect of this fight, but most importantly, the durability, which will allow him to deal with that early onslaught of Lerta and then take over in the second and third rounds, probably even getting that finish in the second round. There has been a ton of action on Edgar Chyz this week, and when I bet him, it was closer around that minus 300 range. I see him up to that minus 550, minus 600 range. So if you were to parlay him and make this Locky Trinity on Monday, when I dropped it for the Patreon folks, you would have gotten plus 161. Unfortunately, now with all the action coming in on those 3 legs this week, you're looking at plus 114. So a huge difference there, and another reason why I believe joining the Patreon will pay dividends, especially if you're looking to tackle these Locky two-steps and Locky Trinity parlays that I dropped for you guys. There you guys go. Locky two-step, minus 105. Locky Trinity, plus 161. Let's see if we can go 6-0 on the year for Locky two-steps and increase our Locky Trinity record to 4-2. I will see you guys again tomorrow for the 3 best prop bets for UFC Mexico. A reminder, there's also LFA and Cage Warriors tomorrow, which I've broken down on the Lock of the Night Patreon page, which is where you guys can find the Locky Trinity and Locky two-steps every Monday. And then also, PFL going down Saturday afternoon. I dropped a full card breakdown for you guys on the YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check that out. And then on Sunday is ACA as well, which I'll also be breaking down on the Patreon page. busy ass week. We're almost through it, and I can't wait to just sit back and watch these fights go down, and hopefully we can count some cash at the end of the day. Appreciate all the love and support, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for the 3 best prop bets for UFC Mexico. Peace.